Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Casually Fit Podcast. My name is Rob. Thank you for coming by. Today is episode 28. Got a few things I want to talk to you about today. I just want to give you a quick update on my situation, on my back issues. If you've been listening at all, you know that I've had some issues, so I want to briefly cover that because it's quite interesting. And, then got a nice fit fighter of the week for you, somebody to give you some inspiration, got a nutritional tip, and then I'll end it off with a fitness freak of the week, and we can look at somebody who's just getting after it. But first up, wanted to start off by just saying, so basically what happened, I'll fill everybody in. So a long time ago, had a bunch of back issues for several different reasons, and basically what happened is I decided to start stretching a lot, running a lot, and I built my back up pretty much from the point of not being able to move, get out of bed, do anything crazy. Definitely couldn't surf, really, lift weights or anything like that. And I just, pushed against the pain and was able to run, be able to squat some weight, surf, be able to run and surf and lift weights all in the same day. So definitely a huge change from where I was before. And what happened after that is shortly after I was able to really feel my back starting to get better. I can't remember what happened, but I tweaked it somehow. I believe it was surfing. I was just like checking out of a bigger wave, and I just tweaked my back a little bit when I was, just trying to get out behind the wave. And so something happened there, and it pretty much just brought everything back down, and it became this like yo-yo kind of effect going on for a while, to where really actually what happened is we all got put on lockdown. The quarantine started pretty much right when all of that was going on. The quarantine started, and that's when I was actually able to lay off the weights, and they didn't even allow me to surf. We weren't even able to surf here for a while in San Diego, and that actually helped me out. It helped my back out, and I was able to get up a little bit, and then I hurt it really bad again. It's constant, right? Hurt it a little bit more, a little bit again, and then this last time it just got really bad again, because all the times I would hurt it before, it wasn't like back down to zero. It was like a pretty big hit to where I couldn't do a few things for a while, but then I was always able to get back onto it. And then this last time, it was really pretty intense. It was kind of almost not really going away, and I was dumb. I went surfing a couple more times than what I should have. Lifted more weight than what I should have, and I actually ended up going snowboarding for sure when I shouldn't have. I was in a lot of pain the first day, and then surprisingly the second day I wasn't in as much pain, but it definitely wasn't smart for me to do that. And then I took this last month off. Pretty much I took it off from surfing, I took off from running, doing any heavy lifting at all. There's even a point where I didn't want to, and also my body wouldn't really allow me to lift off just like the 25-pound plates or the 45-pound plates and just pick them up off the rack and then throw them onto, a bar or whatever I'm using. So I had to even stay away from plates and everything for a good like 2 to 4 weeks. And, it was a bummer, right? I like being up. I like moving around. I like doing a bunch of different things. And so I was at that point, this was like, I don't know, it was probably like somewhere around 2 to 4 weeks ago. I don't keep too much track. But it was very, very recent. And, I let myself rest up, go through this pain, and then let my body rest up. And it was kind of working, but it also kind of wasn't going away. And then one day I just said, whatever, I'm just going to go for a run. And I went for a run, and it hurt a lot running. But once I got done, once I hit a certain point when I was running, after I got like a couple miles in, the pain kind of subsided and went away. And I might be killing my nerves. Who knows? I might be killing my nerves. but that happened, and that gave me a little spark to be like, okay, you know what? I think the best way forward, which is actually a way that has helped me continue on, is the best way forward for me has been to just keep on pushing forward and keep on trying to stay active, and also try to recover, which I know some doctors and people are like, what are you doing, you moron? And I get it, all right? But this is just who I am, and this is just what I do. And so, I might regret this later on, but as of right now, through pushing through the pain of running, and then also realizing that my spine seems like it's been decompressed, possibly a bulging disc. And I started using this thing, it's where you, I don't know the name of it, forgot the name. It's where you just put your legs on and you do like backups. I don't know. It's not sit-ups. You just use your back and you go up. It's really great for strengthening your lower back. But it's also great if you just put your legs up and then you hang over that thing, and then it decompresses your spine. So what I started doing was I started to jump on the elliptical every morning or every time before I work out, just for 10 minutes, just, cruise on there, warm my body up, get my posture upright, and just, again, warm my body up before I start to lift weights and do everything else. But then once I got done with the 10 minutes, then I jump over to this thing where this back exercise thing. I should look it up. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. And I just started hanging off of there and twisting a little bit, and also doing the backups, or whatever you want to call it, back curls. Not really curling. It's like an awkward whatever. And so I just started doing that every single day, along with, at the end, after I start working out, along with running again, and then along with stretching every single day. And this has been going on every single day for like 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, somewhere around there. And I feel great. I haven't leg pressed, clearly for probably not since like December of last year, maybe even before that, because really the gyms out here have been open, closed. There's some outside gyms, but the outside gym kind of sucks. I actually had to move gyms to a great gym now. It has a bunch of weird ass people in it, but they have countless amounts of equipment. It's amazing. So I haven't, just with all of that, I haven't really been able to even do leg press or anything like that. My back's too sketchy to really jump under a bar and start squatting yet. I think I can now. And that's the great thing, is now, like today, I put on 5 plates on each side and was able to, leg press on my 5th set, like 10 plus reps or something like that. So, it's all good. And I just wanted to, share with everybody that story of, I've gone through this ups and downs with my back, again, basically being just immovable, not being able to do anything, and then being able to, again, I did my warm up, lifted weights, did all the leg exercises, shoulder exercises I could do today, leg pressed, ran a few miles. And I wanted to go surfing, but it was just too cold. But I'm going to go surfing tomorrow. And then guess what? I'm going to work out and run tomorrow too. And it's not really going to be a big deal. And that's great. I'm happy about that. This is all happening right now. Based on the past, I'll probably break my back again. But at least for right now, everything's going good. And I'm getting closer to back up to par. I'm still... Now what happens is, now I got to build more leg strength and more endurance with my legs, back up to where it used to be, and then surpass that. Again, I've still been doing cardio every single day, even while being on this like active recovery. But it's, you know, it's different when you're just doing cardio on like a stationary bike or elliptical or the assault bike versus actually running, then actually being able to put some plates together and do some leg presses and things like that. So I'm really excited that I'm able to do this now. And the lesson for y'all would be, hey, maybe, you know, do a little bit of rest, talk to the doctor, of course, you know, do all that. But maybe sometimes you just need to push through the pain, and maybe you got something better on the other side. So that's just what I wanted to share with all of you today. But let's get some motivation together, right? Let's get excited about our coming day and our coming week and the rest of the week. Let's get pumped up. So let me show you somebody who's been out there, who's been killing it, who's been losing the weight, trying to lose the weight. And this person, again, this is a Fit Fighter of the Week with parentheses. I've been saying for weeks that I'm going to change this name of Fit Fighter of the Week. And I thought about it today, and I thought of a bunch of different names, and I'm still figuring it out, all right? I do want to share with you, in parentheses, Fit Fighter of the Week. I want to call this person the adipose murderer of the week. All right, we're talking about a real serial killer here. All right, we're talking about somebody who just kills that fat. And this is a good type of serial killer. This is somebody who's out there who said, hey, I don't like you, talking to their fat. And they just decided to, you know, prison shank them. And I wonder if this gets me in trouble with YouTube. I don't know, but I'm talking about this person likes to lose weight. This person decided, hey, I got to lose some weight, and here I am trying to lose weight. And she is, if you go to Instagram, it's Charlotte's Web _X. And I have a screen recording today. This will be the third time. This will be the third time I think it's recording. It says it's recording, but all the other ones have said they've been recording too. And they kind of did, but the file gets messed up when I try to put it in the editor. So, you know, we're going to try it out today. But Charlotte's Web, as you can see, hopefully, if the screen recorder works, you will see it right here if you're watching this. If you're listening to this, just keep this going in the background, open up Instagram, and look up Charlotte's Web, because we're going to check this lady out, not in a sexual way. Okay, stop. Okay, we're going to check this lady out who has lost 39.5 pounds and counting. All right, so look at that. 39.5 pounds. That is a decent amount of weight, okay? You know, about 40 pounds. And if you go to her Instagram, you can see she has a ton of before and after pictures. Of course, my computer is freezing, but it's okay. Computers freeze, right? It's not working at all anymore. I wonder if that's because of the screen recorder I'm using. So we can already just assume that in this editor that I'm... Oh, there we go. Might not have a screen recording this week. But she has Charlotte's Web. She has, I'm guessing her name's Charlotte. She has a bunch of before and after pictures, and you can see that, yeah, she's lost about 40 pounds, and that's cool. Again, you go to her, she has, I wish I could. This whole thing's a mess. All right. Yeah, if you can see that she just talks about her weight loss journey, things that she's had to worry about, things that she's had issues with. And this is why I want to show you the adipose murderer of the week. I don't know if I'm going to keep that one. Still might be Fit Fighter or something else. Adipose murderer is kind of murdery. It's kind of intense. I get it. But I like it. Either way, Charlotte's Web, she's from Cambridgeshire. I don't know. I'm from America. I don't know. She's out there, and again, she's killing it. if you want to get some just some advice, you want to follow her page. I mean, all she posts is things about her weight loss journey. So, and she says email for business inquiries. So, she's out here. She's trying to tell people about her fitness journey. So go and listen and watch her fitness journey so you can see, again, what is to come for you if you're trying to lose weight. If you're trying to lose weight, again, it can get very hard to just picture yourself as somebody who has lost 40 pounds. And it's very easy to not, it's very easy to think that's not possible, right? When you need to lose 40, 50, 100 pounds, even people who just have to lose 5 pounds think it's impossible. So, and those thoughts stay persistent for a long time unless you decide to stop thinking that way, or you start, using the toxic world of social media to actually benefit you and use it as a tool, and look on Instagram, look up hashtag weight loss transformations and find these people. And you can see people that post all about their fitness journeys because, it's just the thing to do now, right? People don't, if somebody's doing something, they're going to put it online, right? And especially when it comes to how people look and their body, a lot of people just cannot resist putting it online. And thankfully that they do, like Charlotte's Web. Thankfully, she's one of the people who's putting stuff online and showing you her journey because she has lost 40 pounds. Okay, if you're from a town or a city, or if your friends group, the people you talk to every day, they're not losing 40 pounds. Maybe they need to lose 40 pounds. I don't know. Who's to judge? I'm not saying that they should. You're not saying it either, but maybe they do. I don't know. But maybe they do, but they don't. So who around you is that influence for you? Who around you is that person that you can look up to? Who around you could you ask and talk to about losing weight? If there's nobody doing it around you, there's nobody to look to. There's nobody to talk to. There's nobody to ask. And that is a great thing about the internet, is now you have people like Charlotte's Web accessible to you. And she's trying to make money somehow, I'm sure. So, you talk to her. Maybe she has a program for you. Maybe she, I'm sure her advice isn't free. But, you can, even if you don't even ask her anything, she's going to post about some stuff, and it's going to be about weight loss. And it's going to be about losing weight. So that's invaluable. And again, if you don't have that around you, you can use the internet, and you can use Instagram of all places to learn some stuff and gain perspective and get a little bit of motivation and get you into that gym and get going, I'll talk about that another day. But, so yeah, go check her out, Charlotte's Web _X on Instagram. It'll be linked down in the description box for you, to make it easier for you. And let's move right along into the nutrition tip of the week. So I was sitting there thinking, what could be a nutrition tip of the week? And there's a lot of hacks. There's a lot of recipes. There's a lot of only eat, plate size as big as your hand, but I could fit at least like 2 pieces of cake in my hand, or I could fit 1 very large piece of cake in my hand. So, not all advice is great. And some of these things are just things that people say. And today I wanted to give a tip on nutrition as more of like a light. I want to give everybody kind of something that you might not have been seeing. And to some people this might seem very obvious, and the thing is that it's not obvious to everybody, which is why I am bringing it up. The nutrition tip for you this week is to look at the things that you're eating, look at the things that you're doing on a daily basis if you're not on a diet program, right? And if you are on a diet program and you've been on it for a little bit or whatever, just think back to your time when you were not on any diet or anything. And look at the things that you do, look at the places that you go, the restaurants you visit. uh, when you go in to grab gas at the I can't talk. When you go in to grab gas at the gas station, and of course the machine doesn't work, they tell you to come inside. I think that's just a trick to get you to buy something, and then you end up buying something, and you grab a Twinkies or whatever on your way out of the gas station. I do it all the time, right? But notice these things. Kind of take account of these little things that happen. Think about when you go to lunch. Do you just go to the same place every day for lunch? A lot of people do. A lot of people go to the same 1 to 3 places for lunch every single day, and they get maybe 1 to 3 of the same meal from every place. They have like 2 or 3 items on one specific menu at all these different menus, and they just pick one of these, and it's a comforting thing. It's something that you like. It's something that you want. But if you're struggling with your weight and you are looking around and you're like, oh, I need to be like Charlotte and get 40 plus pounds down and counting, then maybe the things that you're eating are not the best for you. And that's one thing all of in itself, right? You need to obviously switch the food that you're eating. But my tip for you is to notice that this is also a habit. These are habits that you are accustomed to. You grabbing this, you going into a gas station and then coming out with a little snack, a little goodie, that's a habit. The habit of oh, I got to get gas. Oh, I got to go inside this market and talk to this cashier who doesn't give a shit about me and doesn't want to talk to me or help me. Every time I go and do this, I also got to grab a snack. These are habits. When you are deciding what to eat for lunch, you have all these places in your area to eat from, but you just go to 1 or 2 places because you like them and also because it's a habit. It's something that is taking place on a subconscious level, and it's just automatically happening. You're not really thinking about it. It's just happening. You're in a groove. You're caught up in this momentum that's going on. And I think this is important to realize. I think this is important to see that a lot of this is, yes, it's choice. It's a bunch of other different things, but it is also a habit. It is also something that is just happening. Okay. And the good news about that is habits, you can take up habits, you can break habits. It happens all the time. There's good habits, there's bad habits, and again, you can actually get rid of these habits. If you look at it as also a habit, yes, it's all these other things. It's difficult to switch over your food. It's difficult to find other places to eat. It's difficult to eat less because you're hungry, and there's a bunch of other different things going on. But to help you take a step back and to look at this situation from a different perspective, a somewhat non-personal perspective, I would say to start looking at all these different decisions that you're making as a lot of different bad habits. Because maybe don't use the word bad, because then they'll bring it a little bit closer home when you're like, oh, I just do a bunch of bad habits. It gets sad then, right? So maybe don't do that, but just look at all of these as just habits, and just look at it as, okay, these habits I would like to stop, and I would like to replace them with good habits. I would like to have different habits. I would, instead of, when you are deciding what to eat for lunch, instead of being like, okay, lunch is coming, where am I going to go? And then those 3 places pop up in your brain. Instead of being like, okay, these are the only 3 places to go to, which one of these 3 do I want to go to? that's the beginning of your habit. That's where this whole thing kind of snowballs into this unconscious thing. Try to recognize that and be like, okay, these 3 places, I'm not going to. All right. I'm only going to other places and not these 3. And if you recognize that, if you're able to recognize this as a habit and you just realize you're going to these places out of habit, then maybe it's easier to be like, well, I'm going to try to stop this habit and I'm going to try to go somewhere else. Okay. And that can help you out. And if you still go to those places, just try not to be in the habit of ordering the same thing. Try to see that as a habit. Try to see that yes, the food that you're ordering is delicious. It's great. That's the thing about bad food. Bad food tastes good. It's just how it is. Bad food mostly tastes good. Good food to me also tastes good. I think both taste good. A steak is good for you, and it tastes amazing. I think grilled up asparagus with some oil and whatever else you put on asparagus. I'm not a cooker. I'm a take-outer. And whatever else they put on there at Urban Plates, it's great. I think it tastes great. A donut, a swirled sugar twist donut, amazing. A burger at In-N-Out, amazing. Shake Shack, amazing. Ice cream sundae, it's okay, right? But the what's the Ben and Jerry's is better. It's just is. I mean, I'm sorry, ice cream sundae, that's like some 1940s stuff going on there. Like, it's so basic. Ben and Jerry's is great. Bad food's great. And that's how these habits kind of come in, right? These habits kind of come in underneath these bad foods, because even though it's bad food, it still, tastes great. And then you're just kind of searching for what tastes great, what's going to give you some more comfort. And then you get in the habit of searching for something that's going to taste great, something that's going to give you a little bit of comfort. And for whatever reason, it's usually something that's bad. That's the thing about habits, is that bad habits are very easy to take on, but they're also very difficult to get rid of, right? Like when you have something that you really kind of shouldn't be doing and it's kind of forbidden, it's very easy to be attracted to that and almost gravitate to that thing. I think that's just like a human nature kind of thing. I know for me, if you tell me not to do a thing, I'm going to do the thing. It doesn't matter what it is. If it ends up me getting my finger chopped off, I'll still probably do the thing just because you told me not to do. It's just I get attracted to that thing. I get pulled towards that thing that I'm not supposed to do. Like we all know, hey, don't drink too much soda. We all know, hey, keep your hand out of the cookie jar. We all know these things. We know not to eat too much sugar. We know not to eat too much refined carbs. We know what food is good and we know what food is bad. We know very few people are convinced that when they go to Jack in the Box or McDonald's that they're going to a healthy place to eat. So we know that these things are happening. We know that all this is going on. And you know what? I got distracted, people. I got distracted. I got distracted on that one. But yeah, so we know these. I'm back on track. So we know these things are going on, and we're attracted to these bad habits. So it's so easy to kind of take on a bad habit. It's very easy to take on a bad habit because we naturally gravitate towards them. And then at the same time, it's hard to get rid of, because if you're trying to get rid of this habit, in part, you're also recognizing that you've been in the wrong. You're also admitting that you might have a problem and you might have been doing something that's not been good. Like if you have a habit of going to this specific restaurant, ordering this specific food every Tuesday and Thursday of the week, and you've been doing this for 3 to 5 years, and then all of a sudden you realize, whoa, that meal was 2,000 calories and over 90 grams of sugar and over, 300 grams, I don't know, just a whole bunch of carbs, a whole bunch of sugar. It was this huge meal, tasted great, very comforting, but is detrimental to your health. And 3 to 5 years down the road, you're now realizing that no, this thing isn't the specific thing that's the final mover. This isn't the one thing, but it's a thing, a part of this complex mix of bad habits that you are now having to admit has been wrong for the last 3 to 5 years. And you're supposed to stop that. And every time you don't play into the habit and you choose something else, you're kind of admitting that. And every time you're faced with that decision of trying to choose the bad habit or the good habit, you're kind of coming up against that reality of, oh shit, I've been doing bad stuff and now I'm trying to do good stuff, but it hurts because when I'm trying to do good stuff, I'm also recognizing that I've been doing a lot of bad stuff, and this is sad, and I want to fill this sadness with this great food that I've been, it's a great sandwich, and who cares if it gives a bunch of calories? And then all of a sudden you're eating whatever meal it is that you tend to eat, and then the cycle continues, and then the next day you have to try to make you're faced with that decision again, and that's a bummer, right? But that's just what habits are. Again, habits are, they're difficult, right? Bad habits are very problematic, and they can be a pain in the ass to get rid of, for sure. And the thing about good habits is good habits are very hard to adopt. For the most part, good habits are very hard to adopt. I think in part because usually when you're trying to start a good habit, you're also simultaneously trying to stop a bad habit. It's kind of this, balancing act that's going on. As one thing's being lowered, the other thing's raising up at the same time. So I think since this is happening, every time you're trying to choose this good habit, you're also seeing that you've been doing this bad thing for a long time. And it can get very uncomfortable. And you have to just kind of say to yourself, like, get over it and just do the good habit because that's the better option. And it doesn't matter that you've been making bad choices. It's just what it is. And now, you can just focus on trying to make the better choices. But good habits, I think, again, in part because of that reason, they're very hard to adopt. But it is possible. It happens all the time. Bad habits are crushed and destroyed, and good habits are built up and they prosper. It happens all the time with a bunch of different people for a bunch of different reasons. So that's the good news, okay? So that's the tip, is if you can notice these things, you can notice that all this is possible because a lot of this is just a bunch of different bad habits. And if you look at it this way, it can possibly help you, again, lose this weight. Now, the last thing on good habits is, again, difficult to obtain, but also very difficult to lose as well. I mean, and to really lose. If you actually have a good habit, and actually having a good habit isn't they say it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks pretty much to get a good habit. If you do the good thing every single day for 3 to 6 weeks, you never falter for 3 to 6 weeks, then you have you have instilled a habit in you, and that is now a good habit that you have. If you can do it every single day, 3 to 6 weeks, it's there, right? Now, I'm not saying that on your 6th and 7th week, you raise up your hand and you say, oh, great, now I have a good habit and everything's good now. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you should test yourself when you are, hold on. You know what? I got distracted again. Pretty much just because I'm thirsty, I think. We're going to blame it on thirst, which, here's something funny that I just noticed. This drink is, now I got to look this up because I wasn't paying attention. See, I got bamboozled, and I'm sorry, we're diverting, but my internet is not, or my computer's not working. I got to look this up. this drink under the I'm seeing if this is a sugar. This drink shows no sugar, and of course. So, of course. Look at this. So, I bought this drink a while ago. I never really buy this drink. But I bought it a while ago when I was in a hurry. And I looked at it and I was just like, and I think my other one said something else, but it says 0 added sugars and total sugars 1 gram. And I was like, oh, great. So this is just like flavored water or something. And I was like, this is great. This is exactly what I want. I don't want any sugar. But what I just noticed is that there's 10 grams of erythritol, whatever. And I didn't look into exactly what it is, but it's a sugar. And there's 10 grams of it in this drink. So that's great. And it advertises itself as having 1 gram of sugar and no artificial sweeteners. So on top of all the bad habits, right, all the bad habits that we're trying to get rid of, we're also getting bamboozled, right? We're also getting shoved sugar and garbage into us. You know, obviously I made the choice to buy this. I should have been paying more attention and blah, blah, blah. But this just shows you how much attention you really have to pay. Because, you know, again, this just makes it more difficult. You know, we're talking about trying to get rid of bad habits and how difficult it is just to get rid of a bad habit, something that you've been doing for so long. It's so difficult to do that. And then on top of that, you know, you could do that, but then if you just grab a few wrong things, you know, if I drank 2 of these, I would be, or 3 of these, which is a little much. But I could, this is a third of like my daily intake of sugar, if even that. You know, a lot of people think you shouldn't even have that, and this one drink is a third of that already. So it's pretty nuts. And you know what? Part of me did think it was a little too sweet, tasted a little too sugary, but it's all, you know, it's all good. That's what's going on. And let me get back to what I was talking about. So again, the thing about good habits is that they don't go away that easy. Because what I was saying is good habits don't go away that easy. And what I mean is that yes, if you make it past that 6-7 weeks and then you say I have a habit, and then you test it by completely messing up and going away from it for like 2 to 3, 4 days, 6 days, whatever it is, more than likely you're going to lose that habit. Okay. But if you've been doing this good habit for 2 or 3 years, and this is instilled in you, this is part of you, and it's good, it's beneficial for you, you know exactly how you used to be without this good habit, and now you're in this better space, and you're living with the 2 to 3 years of compounded interest from adopting this good habit. You're living with a great result from it, and you see it now every day, day in and day out, when you take a moment to be like, oh wow, look at what this good habit, look at what has transpired from this good habit, and look at the bad habit that I used to do and how different it is. That's where I'm saying once you get down the road a little bit and you start, when this really gets put into your system, when it's really a part of you, that's when it is as difficult to get rid of as a bad habit. It almost becomes like a bad habit because it's so difficult to get rid of, because you know that it's actually good for you and you see it and you know full well. So even if you mess up for a day or 2 or a week, you know, you don't do it for whatever reason, you know you're always going to go back to it, and that you will. Not that you're like, oh, not that you just keep pushing it down the road. Like you get to a point to where you're fervent and you want to do that thing because you know how good it is for you. And that's the place where everybody should be thinking about when they're thinking about trying to lose weight, when they're thinking about trying to get rid of these bad habits and adopt the new habits, the good habits of choosing a healthier place to eat, choosing a healthier item on the menu, eating less, exercising, and doing all that compounded over time, so you can get into that happier place to where you have all this compounded activity that's built up, and you're just like, wow, look at everything that I did. And so that's the tip of the week, all right? Notice that a lot of what's going on is habits. Kind of take yourself back, take a step back, and just try to detach yourself from that and just see it as this thing that you need to work to try to get rid of. And there's a whole bunch of good books on habits. There's The Power of Habit, The Habit of Thought. Both of those books I recommend on habits, especially if you haven't really heard of like habits broken down and talked to at all. Because I know for a long time, like I didn't until several years ago. And just hearing somebody just, spend time talking about habits, I mean, it's really illuminating to be like, yeah, a lot of these things are habits. And yeah, I think it just makes it a bit easier to get rid of and identify. So now we are at the Fit Fighter of the Week. All right, this is a person who maybe they lost weight, maybe they didn't lose weight, who knows? But they decided to dedicate their body to the Instagram pretty much, and just do some crazy wild things and videotape it and put it on Instagram. Hashtag beast mode, pretty much, hashtag fit freak. These people are freaks. They are in tune with their body to a very high degree. They are seemingly intelligent. They have endurance. They have strength. They have flexibility. They have speed. They're freaks. Okay, these are the people I'm trying to bring to you. And this lady is probably gonna butcher her name. It is Demi Bagby. She is I'm not sure. She's like a fit influencer, a fitster. She's somebody that just goes online and posts videos of her working out, exercising, doing a bunch of wild things. Hopefully the screen recording's still working and you can see that she has. She just works out a lot. She does a lot of wild stuff, and you should go to her Instagram page. It will be linked down below. Basically, because you can see that, she does a lot. Looks like she's out there diving. All right, you got to hold your breath for that. That means that well or decently fit. She does a lot of like backflips, and like right now she's walking on her hands downstairs, which okay, she does some things like that. Some of these videos, I don't really like follow her every day, but you can see her sprinting, and she just gets after it. She's very energetic woman who is just all about fitness and being healthy, it seems like, and she's just all about activity, and that's why she's the fit freak of the week, because she's all about activity. Looks like she's snowboarding, skating, diving, fishing, doing some weird flips. Here's one. Yeah, here's the one I saw like not too long ago. So yeah, she just does a bunch of somersaults, probably a gymnast or whatever at some point. And that just shows like, she's very in tune with her body, and she's clearly in shape. And so if you want to see, what the body is capable of, go check her out, because she's doing a lot of wild things. She's doing she's doing stuff. All right. I mean, she's flipping around. She's doing pull-ups with a weighted vest, which that's a great thing. I mean, that's a very difficult thing to be able to do, pull-ups with a weighted vest. I remember in the Marines, I mean, she's killing it. I mean, yeah, so here's the videos I'm talking about. So go check her out for these videos. You know, when I was in the Marines, I think the woman's test for the PFT, you have to do like an annual running and pull-ups and all these things. I don't even think they could do pull-ups. Like, I don't think it was part of no, they might have only had to do like 5. I'm not sure. I can't remember if they changed it or not. But I remember, you know, we had a few females in our battalion, and, you know, them being able to do 5 to 10 pull-ups was like huge, right? This lady right here, it looks like she's pumping out more than 10, you know, maybe 10 to 20 pull-ups right now with a weighted vest. So she's a fit freak for sure. So yeah, go check her out. She's surfing, so I dig that. And yeah, go check her out. She's a fit freak of the week. She is linked down in the description box for her, or for you. And my computer is freezing and so irritating. How can computers freeze? How can you spend so much on a computer and it still freeze? I just don't get how this happens all the time. I don't know. But yeah, go check her out. And hopefully everybody's having a good week so far, right? If you're living in California, we are out of this purple tier, whatever that means. We're in red tier, whatever that means. And we're going on to another tier. I don't know. You know, who knows what's going on? All I know is that summer's almost here. It's supposed to be warming up. It's happier times, right? You know, everybody's a little bit more calmer. We don't have an election to worry about. People are slightly less insane. And now, since you don't have all that distraction, you can focus on yourself. You can focus on losing some weight. You can focus on, you know, being that adipose murderer, right? But yeah, that's the podcast for this week. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know it was very interesting for myself. I hope the screen recorder worked. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.